Hi, I'm Hazel. It's Saturday again, which makes it time to sit down and catch up on the WoW news of the week, what I've been up to, and answer some of your questions. This week we got more 9.1.5 news. Most excitingly, at least to me, is the official announcement of the return of the Mage Tower. In 9.1.5, with Legion Timewalking, they are going to be reopening the Mage Tower challenges. If you missed these or you didn't play back then, it was kind of a single player raid boss just for you, tuned to be pretty difficult, but with really cool rewards when you made it. There's 7 different challenges. Which one you're eligible for depends on your spec. They promise to tune them to make them meaningfully difficult, and if you beat it, you get a special armor set for your class. The original Legion artifact weapon skins are not coming back. The original bear forms are not coming back, but there is a new werebear that's going to be available from this Legion Timewalking Mage Tower. It's a fell werebear. It looks like this. So beating the Guardian Druid challenge will get you access to this special new bear form in 9.1.5. On top of that, if you complete all 7 challenges across your account, which is going to require at least a couple of characters, you can earn the Soaring Spell Tome mount, which some people may remember was one of the options on the community mount poll that eventually gave us the Wandering Ancient. The Soaring Spell Tome was one of the mounts that didn't win, and we don't have an official model for it yet, but that's not stopping people from trying to plan out which characters they want to use and set up. I'm very excited for this. This is the list of which specs can do which challenges. So if you want that Soaring Spell Tome mount, you're going to need to have a character that can do each of these. Some of these are gimmies for me, and some of them are going to require some real learning. I don't know what I'm going to do for these ones. I'll figure something out. The Mage Tower is not open for testing on the PTR just yet. We do know that the challenges are going to play differently than they did back then, so even if you defeated them at the time, it's going to feel different just because our classes are different and we don't have our artifact weapons working anymore. Things have changed since Legion, so it'll be fresh at least for that reason. They've said that the first time they open up Legion Timewalking in 9.1.5, it's going to be open for 2 weeks just to celebrate, and then it'll be 1 week as normal every time it returns after that. But you don't have to get all of this done in the first rotation. It'll be with Legion Timewalking, so it'll keep coming back every time Legion Timewalking rotates back in. I am very excited. I don't mind that they're not bringing back the old skins. I earned some of them back in the day and the other ones I didn't, and I think that's fine. They were very clear at the time that those were going to be limited time rewards, so I'm okay with them leaving those in the past. I think the new sets look really cool, and I'm a real sucker for challenges that give me even more excuses to play more alts than I already have, so I'm really looking forward to that. We also got a new set of PTR updates this week, some highlights from that. Really good stuff this week, actually. Grateful offerings will also come from your Covenant's callings in 9.1.5 once you have built the Anima Conductor. It kind of sounds like we're going to have more offerings from a higher Conductor level. That's going to be super nice for anybody that is starting late and anybody that is looking to collect all the cosmetics on a new Covenant. Over in the land of Mythic Plus, there are some major affix nerfs. Bolster, Necrotic, and Raging are all being nerfed in 9.1.5. Note that this is not an immediate hotfix, but when the patch comes around, those things will be changed. And this should definitely help take the sting out of the worst key weeks. We just had a Necrotic week recently, and I think it added like 6 months to my life. I don't want to be dramatic, but I am closer to the grave than I was. Another update, we are getting account-wide/ignore in 9.1.5. So ignoring a character is going to ignore every character in their account, so they can no longer just flip to another alt or keep making characters to continue harassing you. This is really, really good and kind of overdue, but I'm just excited that it's being added because that's something that can actually help meaningfully cut down on harassment in the game. Nothing will cure it, but that's probably going to make more progress than the fruit bowl thing. For my fellow pet battle people, there are some big changes to battle pet leveling, or at least buffs to battle pet leveling. They are in 9.1.5 buffing all experience in pet battles by 50% and making it massively more viable to level pets by just fighting wild teams around your level. Fighting a team of wild pets with a similarly leveled team where no pet is more than 2 levels over is going to give double experience on top of the existing buffs. So carry strats will still work. They're not nerfing carry strats or anything like that. You can still do your super squirt day, but they're not mandatory anymore. It's not like if you never find out about that, you just go out into the wild fighting pets. That will now work much better for leveling your pets. They're also changing training stones so that they're granting flat experience amounts instead of 1 level per stone. I have not done the math on this, but that sounds like it's going to make them more effective on low-level pets. As long as they're still at least one level, even at the top levels, then I'm happy with that. With all that in mind, I'm very interested to test and see actually what the new fastest or at least very good ways of leveling battle pets are, because for the last quite a while I've been just basically banking everything for Super Squirt Day and then cranking it all out in one go then, and that will still work. But maybe it's going to be even faster to just to go to different areas and fight different wild teams depending on what level bracket you're in. And I think it's kind of fun that you're actually going to get to play the pets that you're leveling. Like, I've leveled hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pets, and I have no idea what they do because I didn't need them to do anything while I was leveling them, because I just swapped them in the middle of a carry team. So it's kind of fun to think of actually, like, I don't know, reading their abilities for a change. Also from the patch notes, 9.1.5 has BOA, Valor, and Conquest gear, so you're going to be able to use your extra currency, Valor and Conquest, to buy a piece that you can mail to your alt. So the piece will be unranked, so your alt will need to upgrade it, and there is a rating threshold required to buy those things. But I'm really excited about this because if you run a lot of keys or if you do a lot of arena, you kind of reach a point where you don't need the currency anymore. You're fully geared, there's nothing else you can really wear, and you're just stacking up this Valor and Conquest for just, nothing, trading it for trade mats to sell for a little bit of gold. So this means that we're actually going to be able to funnel that currency into starter gear for alts in case you want to try out another class in your preferred activity. And finally, that brings us to my favorite part of the patch notes this week, and that's Archivist Codex rep changes. These might be a little late for me, but I don't care. They are making it easier to grind your Archivist Codex rep in 9.1.5 in a couple of ways. So we have the item upgrade unlocks and bonus drops. Those will be available to purchase account-wide as long as you've unlocked that rank in your main. So your alts are going to be able to buy the unlocks they need to upgrade their Korthia gear pretty much right away if your main is finished. I don't know if they would also adjust the renown requirement, because there is a renown gate as well on the top level of upgrades. I wish they would just snip that right out, but still huge for getting your alts geared up. They're also making an item at tier 6 that you can send to an alt to just increase the rep gained by 50%, which will be kind of nice in case you actually want to do the rep on your alt, although there's increasingly less reasons to do the rep on your alt. Get research, yes, but most things you can kind of buy account-wide now. Deathbound shards and sockets are already that way, where if you've unlocked them on your main, your alt can just buy them with their research. They're also making it so there will be more relic fragments. They've added extra upgrades throughout the ranks to give you chances at double relics from bonus drops, chests, dailies. All of this should just make it easier to finish your Archivist Codex if you're not done yet, or grind out Archivist Codex Paragon caches if you do not yet have the mountain pet from the Archivist Codex Paragon cache, which does cost 10k rep. And if you wanted to do that to yourself, it'll be nicer, it'll be easier in 9.1.5. Also, it'll be easier just to earn the research that you need to buy all of the Deathbound shards that you need, or I suppose sockets if you just really hate Torghast. Although in 9.1.5 with the unlimited Soul Cinders, I would recommend doing your sockets that way if you can handle Torghast at all. You can just go in there for one good day. Maybe a long day, but you can basically get all the sockets that you need with Soul Cinders in 9.1.5. So I would save your research for Deathbound shards unless you are just sworn off Torghast for life. In my life this week, or more accurately next week, I am leaving for a week. I'm unplugging. I am going on vacation. I am traveling around Oregon. I'm going to be away from my desk. I'm going to be looking at nothing. There will be news. I won't know. I'll find out when I get back. So there's going to be no streams and no news video next week for this section of the calendar. I will be back to streaming on Tuesday, September 28th. I think I have like a mount drop highlight scheduled to go out, but aside from that, nothing from me. I'm just turn the YouTuber off and back on again and see if that helps. And then in WoW lately, I have become increasingly addicted to the Relic Fragment grind to the point that I wake up every morning and I shoot out of bed thinking, wow, I can loot 4 more Riftbound caches today. I'm close. I'm like 4 or 5k away from my rank 6, and if you really go for it, you can get about 1,000 rep a day if you get kind of lucky and if you do like a lot. And I've been doing a lot because I want it. I can smell it. And that brings us to questions from this week. Gargantua wants to know, are the Soul Cinders the thing keeping you from trying different legendaries? The base items are really expensive, effectively. You have a good point. Soul Cinders are not the thing that keeps me from trying legendaries. You're absolutely right. I would say it's gold. However, if I just wanted to like try a legendary to see what it feels like, the lower item level base items are much cheaper, And the effect is still the same. It's just the item level that's not quite as good. So I feel like I could very easily make a bunch of those. Like Soul Ash feels infinite to me. I know it's not technically infinite, but I haven't used it on anything in a while. I feel like trying them out is not too bad. Trying them out at rank 6 though is not happening. I have a rank 6 Lego on my Priest and my Druid, and that's it. They get one each and they're done. I spent 400k on my Druid. I want to say gloves, leather gloves. So I'm done now. And Benjamin asks, do you have a set team to catch outdoor pets? If so, does it change per zone or per fight, or can you recommend a one team fits all? So I use the same wild capture team against absolutely everything, and I only change it if it doesn't work, but it almost always works. The main pet is Grumpy. I like him because you can howl and then super bark, and that'll take almost anything down to capture range within 2 turns. There's other moves that won't reduce an enemy pet health past 1, but this combo is really nice because it's a bunch of damage, but it still won't kill them. The tricky thing is if you're fighting a pet that can damage itself, then it might die, and you gotta watch out for that. So I do Grumpy with Howl and Super Bark to catch the pet that I'm looking for, and then to clean up the rest of the fight, I usually just have a Nexus Whelpling, or even 2 of them, just to Arcane Storm Mana Surge. Even if it's not super effective, it's still a ton of damage, and it's very hands-off damage, so you can multitask. And then Emily wants to know, what is the name of your cat? She's beautiful. I'm a vet nurse, cat behavior professional. My baby, her name is Kira. I'm not sure if she knows that her name is Kira. She's my only kitty, so I just call her Kitty most of the time. But she's just the best. She's taken to sitting in a chair, actually, like a people chair in my office, so I can usually get a cat cam on her for stream, which is always fun. And that has been my week. Thank you for watching. I will not make one of these next week. It doesn't matter what happens. I'll find out when I get back. So fingers crossed for a quiet week, I guess, but this is my way of jinxing really good news to come out because I won't be here to talk about it. I'll be back the following week. Thanks so much for watching. If you have a question for the next video after I get back, please leave it in the comments of the most recent one, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye. Okay, now that the video is over, you can leave if you want. This is not important. I want to show you, I painted some birds on my nails. It's the end of it, so you can just leave if you don't care. Most of them are not cute, but like I feel like these 2 are really cute, and then the thumb birds, the colors got kind of out of whack. Hang on, I kind of thought the pink would look a little more red for a robin, but that one's just kind of a weird pastel bird. And then I was thinking I'm gonna paint a yellow-headed finch, so I made his face yellow, but I made his face so yellow that it looks like he's just been face planting in dandelions. I don't know, but these ones are cute. I like that they match. I feel like they're not friends. Okay, I'm leaving now. Bye.